Good evening, everyone. I'm going to start doing something a little bit different for this channel. Every now and then I would like to just do a forecast video solely focusing on weather impacts for Washington State. So that's exactly what we're going to do tonight. We're just going to look at what could possibly happen here over the next week. And currently we're coming out of what was a pretty cold week for Washington State with bouts of snow throughout the area. This is looking at some footage I shot around areas like Seattle and Everett. Seattle got 6 consecutive days of snow, 5 of them had measurable snow, and Saturday actually had record snowfall for that day at 2.6 inches on the day. So now let's go ahead and take a quick look at the weather models and see what we can figure out. This is looking at the European model. You can see in the bottom right hand corner of the video what model we're looking at. In the top you can see what time we're looking at on the model. So right now we're looking at Tuesday at 4 a.m. There's going to be maybe a couple showers around the area, nothing too substantial. And then by Wednesday we could start getting some more substantial precipitation into the area, some heavy mountain snow, some pretty good rainfall for the area. And then a potentially bigger storm might come through the area on Friday into Saturday morning. And you can see it takes a surface low right across the north part of the Olympic Mountains, and depending on the pressure gradient and the depth of the low, that could be a pretty big wind event for this area. But if the low comes in any further to our south, like the GFS is showing, it could actually bring some more snow to the region. Looking at the upper air pattern here, you can see right here is Monday, and then here is Tuesday, a little bit more of a boring pattern, maybe a couple showers. And then on Wednesday, that trough begins to dig down on the northeast side of the Pacific Ocean towards Washington State, bringing some rain to the lowlands, snow to the mountains, and then it really reorganizes and deepens into a powerful trough over us starting on Friday into Saturday, and then it puts us in kind of a cold core pattern on Sunday. And just how cold this is actually going to get is in question. This is looking at the 850 millibar temperature anomaly now on the European model. Going through, here we are on Wednesday, that trough begins to come down on Friday. On Friday you can see that low go up towards British Columbia, Vancouver Island, then come across the north of the Olympics. And then we have a colder air mass slide down into southwest British Columbia. And that could bring us back into a colder pattern depending on what happens there. We can see on the European model that after that system goes over us, this is pretty far out there at this point, but there could be some heavy enough showers with the cold air aloft to drag some snow down to the surface. But at this point we're looking about 6-7 days into the future, which is pretty far. But the key takeaway is that we're coming into yet another active pattern. Looking at the GFS, instead of taking that low further north, it actually brings that low further south. But if this were to happen, we had some colder air to our north, there's actually a shot that we could possibly get a little bit of snow out of this if it came in further south like that. The key takeaway is we're going into an active weather pattern here. This is looking at the GEFS. This is all the ensemble data put together into a map for us to be able to visualize what might happen over the next week or so. Right there you can see that trough begin to come down the area Wednesday evening into Thursday. Friday opens up a big trough right to our west. Right there, that's a pretty good look for a windstorm in here. Big trough goes way down in just off the shores of Northern California, and then brings that really good jet support back into the Pacific Northwest. So depending on where this low goes Friday into Saturday, we could end up having a windstorm or maybe a little bit of snow. And then going further along about a week out or so, this block on the GFS reorganizes and sets up more troughing to our west. So we're going to stay in a pretty active stormy pattern for the foreseeable future. Now looking at the European ensemble data here, you can see the day that this is looking at here. Keep in mind that for our area, 0Z is 4 p.m. on the day before, so 0Z Tuesday would be 4 p.m. on Monday, for example. So anyways, going along here, coming into Wednesday, you can see that trough begin to come down towards us, impacts us with a bit of a system on Thursday, and then another trough kind of comes off and reorganizes just off of our shores and brings a more powerful system into our region. Whether or not this is going to be a windstorm or something else, we're just going to have to wait and see what actually does end up happening. Anyways, I hope you guys are enjoying this quick look at the models for Washington State. I'm not going to do these all the time, but sometimes I will, especially as we're coming into more active patterns, and we'll see what happens.